Once considered combat fatigue or shell shock, we now know veterans carry emotional wounds with them long after returning to this country, and many of those say that they may never see the life of battle again. Now providing a voice for veterans, WMAR 2 News' Jeff Hager is on a story tonight with how some victims have discovered how to heal. Art.
I'm that phoenix rising. I'm that phoenix rising.
She now pours her soul out on the stage, and for Randi Thomas, this is therapy. She left the Army in the late 90s wounded, although she never saw any combat, after being sexually traumatized.
There's just some things you just, at that point in time in the military, you just don't talk about. You just don't talk about, for number one, for the shame of it all. And number two, the way it was put to us, if situations like that are revealed, that's an immediate discharge.
Anger consumed the years that followed before Thomas finally came to the Perry Point VA Medical Center in search of help for her post-traumatic stress disorder.
I knew that there were some problems going on. I knew that there was problems in my marriage. I knew that there was problems with me dealing with people. There was problems with me adjusting.
So this is going to be how the onset of PTSD symptoms?
Former Marine Staff Sergeant Nathan Campbell saw plenty of bloodshed during his 7 deployments to Iraq and Afghanistan. But his symptoms associated with PTSD emerged after he had returned stateside and had little to do with the violence that he had witnessed.
It's cost me everything. I've had to restart my life 3 times. It's cost me everything, the symptoms. It's just wear and tear, really. Because we're not, and I'm not speaking for every veteran, but for me personally, it's not the wear and tear of convoys here, and it's the time away from family and like the PTSD of coming home and not feeling out of place, not having your rifle on. There's so many different factors that we miss out on that we become so accustomed to in Iraq or Afghanistan.
Campbell lost his marriage, contact with his daughters, and nearly his life while trying to fill the void once he had been honorably discharged.
And once the symptoms started, I did not get help. And because I did not get help, that's whenever I tried to commit suicide.
Campbell turned to the VA and found his art for drawing.
This is all done with pencil, just me in my hospital bed, really.
Could finally help him confront his demon.
So what this is the drawing is of pretty much the outside side. It's going to be the demon or the beast, PTSD, and then this is the veteran or the individual. And as you can see, he's being pretty much taken captive or being held by him.
Campbell's 3 stages of PTSD are unquestionably dark, ending with the demon holding a noose in a room of despair, room 22, where Campbell says so many veterans find themselves.
I put room 22 down just as an ode to the 22 veterans a day that we lose to suicide.
Whether it's Campbell's talent with a pencil or Thomas with a microphone in her hand, Veterans Administration therapist Kelsey Eisenhower says both have found an art to heal.
It's hard to talk about the things that they've experienced, and it's hard for them to put a name to what's going on for them. And one of the beauties of recreation and creative arts therapies is that they don't have to put a name to it. They can put it down on the paper, they can put it out in song, they can put it in the music.
For Nathan Campbell, it meant exercising his demon by confronting it on paper.
That's why I did these, so people who've never had PTSD, they can go, this is what we see. This is what we see in our head every night when we go to sleep.
Bittersweet victorious.
While Randi Thomas is liberating herself through her lyrics.
I don't know why I fight so hard for their disdain. I give them all I have, and they just forget my name. I've got ashes on my wings.
Lost in her music, Thomas has found herself through her own art to heal.
Thought I was worse, but I know I'm getting better.
Jeff Hager, WMAR 2 News.
Among women seeking services from VA healthcare, we have 23% reporting sexually being assaulted in the military. And it's estimated as many as 20% of veterans who served in Iraq and Afghanistan experience PTSD. So if you need help, you can call the Veterans Crisis Line 24/7, 1-800-273-8255. And also on WMAR2news.com/voice for veterans, you can check out our stories on veterans and the organizations helping them right here in Maryland. And if you have a story idea, email it to us at storyideas@wmar.com.